What's up guys, it's Cody here. Today in this video we're going to be talking about the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max. So there's basically three new phones here. Two of them are going to be pretty much the same, just a different screen size, the Pro and the Pro Max. It's basically just like the XS Max and the XS. And then of course the iPhone 11 is going to be the upgrade from the iPhone XR and obviously that cheaper price point. So let's talk about these three phones and let's find out, should you actually upgrade from the device that you have right now or wait for another year for the 2020 devices? Let's get into it. All right, so if you guys don't know, the new iPhone was just announced literally minutes ago at the Apple event that was today. So I didn't do any research in terms of rumors. If there were rumor articles, I skipped them over this year. And the reason for that is because I wanted to feel like I was surprised a little bit while watching this Apple event. I wanted to feel what it felt like back in the day when Apple would have these Apple events and you didn't know what was coming. I mean, you were literally surprised. Now there were, in the line of business that I'm in, it's almost impossible to completely just disregard every single rumor. Like, I knew there were going to be different colors. I didn't know what colors they were going to be, and I knew they were going to have that 3-lens camera system. I didn't know how it was going to work. I didn't know features that were on it. But for the most part, I knew that without reading anything, without watching any videos on any rumors, and I was not surprised whatsoever at anything that was announced at the Apple event, which is kind of depressing a little bit. It's not depressing because I don't like ride my entire emotion on an Apple event, but for the most part, you're spending so much money on these types of devices and you really wish that they would do something that would really blow your mind. Unfortunately, we haven't really seen that with Apple in quite some time. And I understand it's a really hard thing to do because we expect so much and we demand so much. And if we don't get what we want, then we're disappointed. But really at the end of the day, it's just a phone. It's a cool phone. It's nice to have. And is it going to make your life a little bit easier? And do you have the money to invest in something like a new iPhone 11 Pro or Pro Max? But just to cover all bases, let's go through a general overview of the iPhone 11. First of all, you get the anodized aluminum glass back design, and it's going to come in 6 different colors. You're going to get that green color, yellow, silver, white, product red, and black or space gray, whichever one they call it. They're very neutral colors. They're not very bright and in your face. They're kind of a dull color, which is not a bad thing in my opinion. It has a 6.1 liquid retina display. It now has spatial audio and supports Dolby Atmos. So the speaker system should be a little bit better as well. That's going to be hard to tell until we actually get it hands-on. And other than that, you pretty much have the camera. And the iPhone 11 has a dual camera system. And that dual camera system is basically using one lens for a wide shot and then the other lens for an ultra wide shot. And you can quickly change between that right there within the camera UI. In all fairness, this is a really cool feature. You get the normal wide shot and then you get the ultra wide shot. And the ultra wide shot is really going to give that ultra wide look. You can see an example of it right here in the pictures that they presented at the Apple event. So a pretty big difference. You can also see here that you're going to get a new UI where you basically can see how wide this shot is going to be. Now another cool thing about the camera is night mode. So night mode is going to allow you to take pictures in the dark, in night, with really low light conditions and still give a photo that's worth sharing or worth keeping. A lot of the time when you take some photos in low light conditions, really low light conditions, then the photo is basically unusable. You have to use a flash, which ruins the photo, changes the entire mood of it. And if you're taking a picture of anybody, they're going to be squinting because the flash is really bright. So this is a really cool feature to add. And there's a pretty big difference with night mode on, as you can see. Video will be similar with 4K at 60 frames per second. You still have slow-mo, you have time-lapse. All the same stuff that you had in your previous version of the iPhone. Now, one cool feature is if you're in your camera and you're taking pictures, you don't have to switch to that video. You know how you usually have to swipe or tap on video in order to take videos? You can actually use what they're calling Quick Take. And Quick Take allows you to just tap and hold on the shutter button and it's going to start shooting a video. And your front-facing camera is going to be a 12 megapixel true depth camera. Now the battery life on the iPhone 11 also will have an extra hour versus the iPhone XR. So an overhead view of the iPhone 11 is a dual camera system, 6 new colors, a 1-hour extra battery life, and a new A13 Bionic chip. So now let's talk about the iPhone 11 Pro. First of all, the material that they're making or they're using is surgical grade stainless steel. It's also going to have a matte textured finish, which should be nice. And it's going to come in 4 different colors: a midnight green, a space gray, a silver, and a gold color. The display is going to be capable of going up to 1200 nits. It's going to come in 2 different sizes, the 6.5-inch screen and the 5.8-inch screen. This one's also obviously going to have that spatial audio like the iPhone 11 does. And also, to elaborate a little bit on the A13 Bionic chip, like you're going to get in the iPhone 11 as well, is it's going to be a whole lot more energy efficient. This is why you're going to be getting so much more battery life on the Pro models, and obviously a little bit more, an hour more, on the iPhone 11. But let's talk about the main feature, which is the camera system. You obviously have 3 lenses. One of them is going to be a 12 megapixel wide camera. It's going to be 26 millimeters at f1.8, a 6-element lens. It has optical image stabilization and 100% focus pixels. The second one right below that lens is going to also be a 12 megapixel telephoto camera lens. And this is going to have a 52 millimeter focal length. It's going to be a larger f2.0 6-element lens, optical image stabilization, as well as focus pixels. The third lens, which is over to the right on the back of the device, is also going to be a 12 megapixel, but it's going to be ultra wide camera. So this is going to be a 13 millimeter f2.4 5-element lens with 120 degrees field of view. So here's a really good example of the iPhone 11 Pro camera lens and the pictures that you're going to be looking at taking. So starting over at the left, you're going to see the telephoto lens, and then in the middle you'll see the wide angle, and then on the right you'll see the ultra wide. So this is all from the exact same vantage point, and you can see just how much closer you can get with these different lenses, with that telephoto lens especially, and how much wider of an angle shot you can get with that ultra wide. So this is going to be really helpful in different situations where possibly you can't back up in specific situations to get an angle of a shot. If you're trying to take a picture of something, you're going to get that ultra wide look, so it's going to have more detail. It's going to tell more of that story, as they said in the Apple event. I'm basically stealing their words. But overall, it's going to be a better camera. There's also this new feature called Deep Fusion, and the way that this works at a very high level, it takes 9 photos total, and it takes 4 photos or images prior to you even hitting the shutter button, and it combines all those images and it uses them to basically meld or fuse all those together in order to make an incredibly crisp and clear photo. And with this Deep Fusion, it goes through every single pixel and tries to take away all of that noise. So it's trying to get incredibly detailed on everywhere in the photo that it possibly can, and you can take incredibly crisp and clear photos. So at a high level, that's what you're getting with the new iPhone 11 and the new iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max. So when you're talking about an upgrade, think about what you're trying to upgrade for. Now, in my opinion, well, first, am I going to upgrade? I mean, yeah, I'm absolutely gonna upgrade. I mean, I got a channel about Apple products, so I need Apple products to create content on Apple products. Obviously, I do other stuff too, but a lot of my content is based around Apple. So yes, I'm going to get the upgrade. I'm gonna test out the new features. I'm gonna teach you everything about it that I learned from it and show you everything that you would possibly ever want to know about the new iPhone. So if you want to see that content, then stick around. It'll be here eventually once it's released. But is it an upgrade for the average consumer? I don't think so. I mean, you literally are getting a new look, a new material on the device, and it's going to be a little bit faster, and you get a new camera system. That's it. You're really getting this for one, clout. I mean, to show it off to other people. That is a real thing. Like, people buy stuff, to show people that they have it. And it feels good to have the newest and coolest gadget out on the market. The second is you really do want those photo upgrades, those camera upgrades. I mean, the camera upgrade is a legit upgrade. It's a good camera. For me, I just wish there was something else that they had. There was another selling point that could get me excited, because I would even be probably more excited about the camera if there was something else to get excited about as well. Because really, other than the camera, there's nothing else to be excited about. So in my opinion, before getting a hands-on of this iPhone, I would say it's not necessary to upgrade unless you really want those new camera features on the iPhone 11 Pro, or if you have a really old device and it's just time for you to upgrade, then possibly look at the older devices that just got cheaper if you're on a budget, or if you got the money and you really want an iPhone 11 Pro, absolutely get it. It's gonna be a great device, and it's a device that I'm looking forward to messing with and using. It would just be a hard sell for me if a lot of my content didn't revolve around phones to actually splurge another grand or more for just the camera upgrades. But of course, that's my opinion. I obviously want to know what you guys think about the new iPhone 11, the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max, the camera upgrades, the new colors, the new textures. Do you think it looks better? Do you think the Apple logo placement is better than it used to be? I mean, tell me anything and everything that you guys think about this iPhone in the comments below. I look forward to checking it out and hearing your opinion. One thing to also mention is if you purchase basically any Apple product, any iPad, iPhone, Apple TV, MacBook, then you're gonna get free Apple TV Plus for 1 year. So, I mean, that's a plus. It's not worth like going and spending the maximum amount you can get on an iPhone, 11 Pro Max, but it is a nice little perk, and it looks like some of the content on there is gonna be pretty good. All right, guys, that's all I got for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button. And of course, if you guys wanna stay up to date with everything Apple, then be sure to subscribe, and I'll hit you guys up in the next one.